Hey game makers! Welcome to DevLog I hope 17 of Gaia's Melody, Echoed Memories, the second game to the Gaia's Melody series remake thing. Yay! So, since my last devlog, we finished the game? Sort of? Kind of. Okay, so, where we are right now is, hold on just a second, I did not pre-do this. Okay, so yeah, so we're actually finished this, and I just finished this, so we're basically here. So yeah, I am right now in the process of bug testing the last couple of scenes. Yeah. I actually took a break halfway through the end boss. Oh yeah, before we get too much into this, spoilers for the end of the game, the new additions I've added in, anything I've changed and feel like talking about. So if you really don't want to get spoiled, you probably should like, subscribe, comment, and just leave for now. So yeah, spoilers if you don't want to be spoiled for anything that's fun and exciting. So yeah, I was actually debugging the final boss before doing this recording, and I took a break actually in this section, because the best time to take a break when you're game developing is obviously the final boss fight, right? So I took a break to do some sexy body pillows for my characters. No, I'm not kidding. I thought it'd be hilariously fun. I was talking to my brother, and somehow we got on the topic of body pillows, like anime body pillows. So I'm like, that sounds fun. Let's see if I can do that too. So yeah, I kind of spent a week doing that. I had some medical stuff come up, and was just like, okay, I don't have the brain power to work on this right now. So let's draw body pillows instead. Ugh. They're not for anything. I won't be doing anything with them, but I had a lot of fun making them anyway. So, before jumping into all of this end stuff, I wanted to go back a bit and talk about some of the stuff I've been working on besides just the end of the game. Let's see. So in my notes, I wanted to talk about, there we go. That's happy and lighthearted. This is what I like. Okay. So, most of this game, you have a set party for the majority of it. You kind of have a different party for each chapter, more or less. So, during the end segments of the game, it's a lot more variable. You have variable party members. By that I mean you can make your own party, basically. Sometimes there are some characters you can't have, but that's just plot. So what I ended up doing for face graphics during scenes is actually just making it on a variable, which is somewhere for faces. So, I have all the characters listed up here, and they'll just swap the actual character face. Now, I know there are plugins that let you call graphics based on their location in the set, or what have you, you know? So, like, I could, if all of the characters had the exact same set of emotions, I could all call them automatically based on an ID number, but I don't have that. I mean, Tadase here has 5 sets of faces, Akira has like 12. Not including all of the alternate costume ones for cutscenes. So, yeah, that wasn't happening. So, I just have a variable doing it to, so I can do it in cutscenes. Because what I was having, and actually this is still kind of an issue, I have certain characters that tend to react more cheerfully to things, like Kachi, Miki, Choco, and, well, them. And sometimes some of the others. And then I have characters like Whip or Dokkan or Zephyr, which don't react the same way. They don't talk derpy, let's say. So I was having an issue with that too, and I'm thinking I might go back and revise some of it. I might have, just, I guess, have it on a switch if it's, because I actually have a conditional branch plugin that lets me do if this, and this is set kind of thing. So, I was thinking of doing that, where if I have any of the derpier characters, I can change their dialogue based on that. But anyway, I was having a similar thing with the faces, so I kind of did it this way. This works. And I also had Selly and Ifo actually write me up a quick little plugin, so I can turn on and off, basically I was having an issue where in cutscenes, because I don't always use events as the character, sometimes I just use the followers, so it would just reset their graphic every time, which looked dumb. So I had Telia write me an exclusion plugin so I can just exclude these when I'm changing them, which is very, very handy, I assure you. So yeah, that was a thing. Let's see. Oh, a small little addition, actually. In where? In here, in Isha's house. My microphone is blocking my list. Okay, it's fine. What we can do is search, not Myth, Isha, which is above here? No, below here. Yes, here. So, there's a section where Zephyr kind of takes over being party leader because of plot reasons that I don't want to get into. And I wanted to do a bit more with it. Basically, the team's sort of shunning him, and he's all like, well, that's great. So I wanted to add a few more bonding moments between him and the team, just because of everything that goes on. It's something I wanted to do. Sorry about that, I got a bit interrupted with something. So, we were talking about, not here, I think we just did this, okay. So, Isha's place. So yeah, I wanted to make it, more, I don't know, just lighter. The sections of the game is like very, let's say, heavy, so I just wanted to add in a few more things in this area. It's a cute little scene, I might show it, I might not, I don't know. Let's see, what else do I have on my list? So there's this scene, somewhere. It's in the white abyss of Akira's mind. Where is it? I can't see it. I can't see. There it is. Okay. So there's this big blank map, and originally in this part I had an actual anime graphic, the cutscene graphics I was using, and I don't think I'm actually going to do one for this area. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I don't feel like it's needed. Because the cutscenes in this game are animated, I've been using them more to show minute details that I couldn't just through sprites, gestures, things like that. That's kind of my interpretation of why they were useful in this. But I don't feel that's necessary. I got the gist of it through the sprites. I was quite happy with how it turned out, and it's kind of just like, well, why do I need to draw something for that? It's definitely not because I just being lazy or anything like that. Okay, I may have started like that, but actually after thinking about it, that's what I came up with. It just, I don't know, it didn't feel necessary. I'm still gonna do, I think, all of the other ones, but that one, I just, like, yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay, so in the last devlog, I remember talking about a scene in Terralols where Terra, the other Terra. Yeah, Terra. Not the redhead either. Anyway, so I remember talking about how I was rather unhappy in the original game with something really bad happening, and then the character is pretty much just, well, that happened, and it's like, Akira's the only one who's like emotionally invested in what just happened, I guess. So I had made some revisions in a later scene about it, somewhere up here, and I added actually another little scene to kind of cohesively make it together. Now, something I hate in games is when you go back and you make changes, it makes the flow just completely screwed up. And I know this because I know a lot of people in my life that work on games that change things later, and then you go back and play it, and then it just doesn't flow good, you know? Like, the scenes are stellar, but you lose that entire flow you've built up. So I really had to try and make it fit. So this scene, actually, I didn't even think about doing extra, I don't know. Doing extra for, I'm gonna just move my mic and hope that it doesn't, yeah, we're still recording, we're still good. Okay, sometimes when I touch this mic, it dies. Like, I can breathe on it funny, and it just disconnects. Anyway, so when the whole sequence I just mentioned, when that happens, here? You come back here, and there's a little addition to the scene I added. It actually feels like it fits very well, and I'm very happy with it turned out, because I really... I don't know if this is entirely the reason, but I wanted to give Terra more development, because her development in this game is very similar to her development in the first game, which it was not really much. And that's for a lot of reasons. If you read the guidebook that I had bundled with the first game, DLC with the first game? Whatever. Anyway, she is based on someone in my life, and I portrayed her as how I view this person. So, like, I wanted to give her a bit more of herself, because in this game she still... I don't know. Her whole thing is very in the background, it's subtle, and it was written that way intentionally, that's how I wanted it. But I thought it would be fun to make her more relevant in this section, because she is sort of a catalyst of why the bad thing in question happened. She's kind of the main one being like, hey, Kira, can you, like, do this thing, please? Thanks. Okay, you're great. Awesome. Good job. You can do it. I have faith in you. And then everything just, you know, does not end well. So, yeah. So I wanted her to at least be there, so they all talk about it and it goes well. So I mentioned that other scene that I had modified with dialogue pertaining to this. I also decided to do a thing. Where is this here? Sorry, sometimes I get random lights in my eyes now. It's very, very exciting, I assure you, but I kind of have to wait until they're gone to be able to do anything. Okay, I think we're good. So, there's a scene here in Akira's room with, Zephyr. And, okay. So, in the original game, I was very, how should I put this? I didn't quite know how far to take their relationship. You know, I had mixed feelings on how to portray Akira. In this game, I decided to do it a bit differently. I kind of had to settle on how I wanted to portray her in the first game. In this game, I'm doing more what I wanted her to be like, which is mostly the same, but just more of the subtle beats of her character to be more pronounced, and more, slightly less subtle. So I actually have a second cutscene in here. Now, it's only available if you do the fan club scenario, and you do the what? Oh, the Mode 7 Theater. If you have both of those active in your first playthrough, it will trigger, or any subsequent playthroughs. Now, if you are playing on New Game Plus, it will actually bring up an option on which cutscene to choose. Basically, you can either pull back the cutscene to the original or push forward to the new scene, which is just basically an extension of the previous scene, before Kachi shows up and derails my hopes and dreams. Okay. So I was really conflicted about how I wanted to have this, if I just wanted to have it as a New Game Plus thing, but I think if you do the two scenes that are completely optional, and I'm actually thinking of a third scene, I haven't put it in yet, but just in Terrain, I don't know, I've been thinking about it for a while, I just haven't had time to think further past, hey, that'd be a good idea. So, what I ended up doing with is if you have those two scenes, then it shows up, and in New Game Plus, it'll just give you the option. Now, initially the scene resulted in you getting, getting a bromide, just lighthearted fun. So, I'm still having that available for if you do the alternate cutscene. Basically, at a later addition to the scene, Kachi just makes a comment about, you know, what would have happened, and then you can still get it. I think it's fair. These are actually not in order, but that's okay. So, I have a scene somewhere. Where is this? It's up here, isn't it? This one. So, there's a scene where the characters are watching a sunrise. And in the original, it looked kind of really tacky, because it's basically what I ended up having to do. Oh man, I'm stuck on the basicallys again. What I had to do back in the day was use a, what is it? A panorama. It was panorama in XP, wasn't it? And I had to just scroll it up the screen to make it look like a sunrise, and it was fine. So what I ended up actually doing is, I don't know where it is. Don't read any of the dialogue, please. Okay, so I am actually using a video clip for the top half of the screen. I'll show it. It was so hard to get the time here. And I had this stupid issue where my WebM encoder for the video program I use wanted to change the colors for some reason, and I couldn't get it to match the one in the background. Just start here. Maybe mute this game. This is somewhere here. There. So yeah, I had to get the video to match the screen, and that was very difficult. So basically how I have this is there's a video that's up here that will play once the sun actually needs to rise, and then it will just change into the background after. I don't know, it worked out fine. Before I had Sally and Evo write me a plugin, I don't know where it is, I don't even know what it's called, I'm not even gonna try, to let me put videos anywhere on the screen, because at the time I wasn't sure exactly how I was gonna do the Mode 7 stuff. I thought maybe I'd have to, do it as a video or something for the Mode 7 theaters and stuff. So I never ended up having to do that, but it worked great for this segment. It's pretty seamless. There are some seams if you look hard enough, but it looks okay. I was happy with how that turned out. But yeah, I had to make sure all the characters and the text boxes were on the bottom half of the screen so that the video wouldn't interfere with anything, and it was a pain in the butt. It took a few hours to get working. But yeah, after I got it working, it was fine. Let's see. I think that's all the changes there. Oh, so I had mentioned back in probably like the second devlog about this hot spring bromide. So, in the original game, after all of the characters are back permanently in your party, you can go back to the hot springs and rest there, and you get a bromide in the original. And it's just the most boringest hot spring bromide like ever. It's really boring. And that wasn't intentional, because again, I didn't feel comfortable hot springing it up, I suppose is an okay terminology for that. So this time I'm a lot more comfortable with doing weird things. So yeah, we just got this amazing hot spring bromide that's just like the best. I'm still probably gonna heavily censor it for the game itself, but yeah, so I decided, in addition to just being able to come here and do that, you actually, because it's such a special bromide, you have to get soaps. In the original game, there were 2 soaps. If you got the 2 soaps, you actually unlocked an earlier scene, which is now a mandatory cutscene. So I decided to repurpose the soaps and make it so if you have all 11 of them, you can just get them at the inns. Here? Yeah, soap! So if you get the 11 soaps for the 11 characters that are participating in this cutscene, they're just all at the inns. They're at the inns that are accessible. Some of them get blocked off via plot. You don't get them from those ones. This is completely attainable at any point in time, as long as you, like the soaps are. This is still only available at this point in the game, and after, just once your party entirely reunites. But so yeah, if you come here and do that with all the things, there's an NPC that tells you how to do it. you get this little cutscene with the characters in a hot spring, and it's adorable. I had a lot of fun with it. Hey, Annika. I forgot you were just sitting up here. Anyway, so, yeah, that's exciting. I had a lot of fun writing this scene. It's just fluff. The end of the game is very, completely and utterly traumatizing and dark. So, I wanted to just add all the fluff that I could, you know, before, before dramaticness takes hold. Okay, so, yeah, let's see, what's next on my list? I guess I can get to that. Okay, so, Castle of Myth, which is the end dungeon for the game, somewhere down here. Here. So these are the XP maps. And I'm actually, instead of making them entirely new, call me lazy if you want to, but I'm actually repurposing the originals. I've changed out the ground and a lot of the textures, but I couldn't get that random feel for the textures. Like, it's supposed to look messy. It's supposed to look old, you know? It's supposed to look kind of decrepit, and I could not for the life of me recreate that. Also, I'm running on like half a brain here, so that might be part of the reason. But I couldn't get it to not look terrible. So I ended up using the original maps because I really liked how they looked. I honestly couldn't tell you if these are the XP ones straight up or if I've edited them. I guess this one has shading, so I probably edited it. But yeah, I ended up having to do that. I couldn't get it perfect. I redid all of them to an extent, but they're much more revamped than completely done from scratch. I tried to update the textures as best I could to make them look better, but yeah, I couldn't get it to look right. It wasn't what I wanted, like, at all, every time I tried, and I tried for a good long while. So, yeah, Castle of Myth is not quite as interesting as I wanted, but it's fine. It does look pretty good, and I've got enough lighting effects to hide all of how terrible it actually looks. Okay, realistically, it doesn't look too bad. And I might, after this, go back and revamp it all. It wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. I wanted it to look like, I don't know, not bad, but there's an aesthetic I wanted to go for, and I just was not being able to recreate it. And I feel bad about that. Again, I might go back and change it, but I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what I wanted with it, but yeah. Besides that, it looks fine. Let's see, what else? There's a Mode 7 scene here. There's not really anything I wanted to talk about it. I just, the original was also in Mode 7. A couple mild changes to it, not really anything substantial. It looks cool. A pain in the butt to get the Mode 7-y stuff. I don't know. I think it really resonates. I like it. I'm very happy with how that turned out. I've also got like a ton of lighting effects just everywhere, because why not? This was a pain in the butt. Okay, so this was fine. So in the original game, I just did whatever, because it wasn't a commercial game, which was fine. Except I really wanted to reuse the sky graphic. I don't think for this map, but for this area, because at some point the sky changes and it gets sunsetty, or something. Anyway, but I couldn't find it. Like, I could find the graphic online. I did a search for it, and I couldn't find anywhere whether it was for commercial use, whether you could license it. It was just some random image on a website. So I had to go and find one that was able to be used or purchasable. So this is what I ended up with, and I've modified it since. I'm probably gonna have to go and find the stupid credits and throw them in the description. Which is fine. But, yeah, so. I really wanted to use the other one and kind of had to settle for this. It looks fine, and actually it turned out really good. Aesthetically, so yeah, that was nice, but yeah. Okay, what else are we rambling about?
And we will continue in the next episode, so I'll see you later, gamers!